Hello everyone, beginning to show you all a tutorial on socketed eyeshadow technique. So we begin by prepping the face with a prep and prime primer of MAC, followed by the Inglot illuminator. It's a gold illuminator and we're only going to use it on certain parts where we need to highlight it, as you can see on the bridge of your nose, cupid bow and your cheekbones. Now we're trying to prep the eye with a Makeup Studio foundation. So we've combined two fairer shades and trying to prep the eyelids. The reason for using a lighter color foundation is that any eyeshadow that you use on the eyes will be very prominently seen. As you can see, I'm just trying to blend in the outer edges of the color that I am applying. That's my foundation that I'm applying. Finish the other eye, and now we will begin with using the eyeshadow. So this is the technique wherein we want the center of the eyelids to look more lustrous and shiny. So we've used a MAC pigment vanilla on both the eyes in the center of the eyelids, as you can see. Followed by Naked 3 palette. We're going to use the darkest brown that's there on the palette on the right hand side. Mix it with a medium bronzing brown shade and create a contour line on the crease of the eyes, as you all can see, all around the crease. On both the eyes we'll do the same, but as you can see it's more like a sharper socketed feeling with this dark brown shadow that we are using on the eyes. The best is to always create a line and blend it with a blending brush. This is a PAC blending brush. We're just trying to break the boundary. Now we're trying to give it a more shaded look by using a slightly softer brown from the NYX palette. It's a contouring palette for the face, but obviously we could use it also on the eyes. It's a matte color. It's a matte softer brown. Just placing it next to the dark brown that we have created. Now followed by the Huda palette. It's a fantabulous palette. We get different shades in it, blues, violets, green shades, but I'm using my red palette of Huda. And as you can see, I am placing the dark maroon on the outskirts of this dark contouring that we had started to create in the first step, so that it gets a little bit more shaded effect. And the effect of this dark course, the darkness only helps in increasing the intensity of the maroon. So now we don't see any more of the dark brown, but it looks more like a deep maroon. So that was the idea of using the dark brown, was to intensify the maroon that we put over there as a shade. So we need to very nicely blend it in and place it over the darker outline of the eyeshadow. Repeating the same on the other eyes. As you can see, we are done with both the eyes. We're using a medium soft peachish shadow from the Huda palette, connecting it onto the inner corners of the eyes. Now again we're using the dark maroon on the lower lids and connecting it with the shadow which we had used on the upper lid all around the outer corners of the eyes, adding it a little bit of glitz and shine. This is a cream glitter which we are placing over the center of the eyelids where we had placed our MAC pigment earlier, so that gets more prominence, and it also created as a base for this glitter to shine a little more and blend in with already the frosty base that was created earlier. Beginning to do the base, we'd already prepped the face. Now we're just trying to work on all the blemishes and darker areas of the face by using a concealer of MAC Pro Conceal palette. Now we're using the MAC Prolongwear foundation and applying it on the highest points of the face, especially under the eyes, bridge of the nose, the cupid bow, the areas that we need your face to stand out more prominently. So we are going to use shades of foundations. We're not going to use a single color. That's how we are able to highlight and contour the entire face beautifully and make the face stand out. Before we do that, we are first trying to blend in this first shade that we've used on the face with a wet sponge. We can use even a beauty blender, but this is a traditional technique of using a sponge, and since I'm very comfortable using it and gives me a good blend, I still like using my sponge, which is not very expensive like a beauty blender and still does the job of a beauty blender. Now you can see I'm using a highlighter color of MAC on the cheekbones, and followed by again the contour palette of NYX, trying to contour the cheekbones and the nose with a smaller brush, blending brush, also on the temple area and on the forehead, and also on the jawline area of the face. Now we're trying to add some color to the cheeks with a cream blush of ELF Cosmetics on both the cheeks. It's a nice pink, rose pink color. Going ahead with the lashes, before using false lashes, it's always nice to add mascara and lift your original lashes so that they don't stand out separately as two different entities. So it's always a nice idea to first use mascara and then fix your lash over it. If you can see any white residue of the glue left over, it's nice to then line it up with a pencil liner to give it that final finish to the liner on the eyelids, and to give a better blend of the lashes over the eyes. I'm using a Stars lip color. It's a nice red color. Stars Cosmetics, again they have lovely shades in lip colors, and especially the liner lip pencil is very good. I'm using Ruby Woo of MAC and filling up the insides of the lip, connecting it with the outline boundary that we've created over the lips, followed by Huda fixing lip color. This would help the red to stay last longer. And yes, as you can see, it's giving a more fuller, voluptuous look to the lips because it's a lovely red. And that's the final look. I hope you liked it.